Hello, welcome to my channel. We have read electric field, that is region around a charge in which electric force can be experienced. You will be familiar also with the region around a magnet. You must have seen the permanent magnet having two poles, north and south poles, and the region around it is called magnetic field. Like the electric field, magnetic field also a vector quantity. How the magnetic field is produced? That is by the permanent magnets. You have seen bar magnets and U-shaped magnets, but magnetic field can also be produced by moving charges. Till electrostatics, we have read about the stationary charges, force between them, electric field of charges. But if the charges are in motion, what can you say about that? We know when the charges are in motion, like the electrical conductor, where free electrons, when the ends of conductor are connected with the battery, then free electrons move opposite to the electric field along with their random motion. So what happens? Charges are in motion, current is flowing through the conductor, and if the charges are in motion or a current carrying conductor, then it has been observed that there is magnetic field in the surrounding space. So magnetic field exists by permanent magnets as well as the current carrying conductors around them, or whenever a charge is motion. So charge plus motion is the main consideration for the magnetic field. It is also a vector quantity, that is, it has a direction and how its magnitude, how it will be decided, that how much magnetic field at which point around current carrying conductor or moving charge can be calculated. Let us discuss the magnetic effect of current. That's why magnetic effect of current means we are going to deal with the magnetism produced, magnetic effect produced due to flow of current or the motion of charge. Now, if there is a cell connected with the key and rheostat like this, and a conductor is connected here like this at the end A and B, you will see that whenever key is off, what happens if you place a compass needle? Compass needle is a small magnet, always rests in the north-south direction. What will you observe here? That when K is off, it rests in north-south direction. No current is flowing through the wire. But if the switch is on, current will begin to flow like this. It has been observed that now this arrow indicates the north pole. There will be deflection in the needle. Needle is deflected in the presence of magnetic field. This magnetic needle is deflected. It confirms that there is region around the magnetic field around the current flowing conductor, current carrying conductor, this AB. What also have been observed by this experiment was done by the famous scientist Oersted, and in about 200 years ago, that is in 1820. If the direction of current is reversed, if the direction in the wire becomes in this direction, then it has been observed that the needle also deflects opposite. Deflection is increased when the current is increased through the wire with the help of rheostat, or the distance between needle and current carrying conductor is decreased. So it was observed by the Oersted that there is magnetic field around current carrying conductor. You can also prove that if there is a current carrying conductor I, you place a charge Q here, charge is at rest, there will be no effect on charge, charge will not be deflected. What does it prove? It proves that current carrying conductor has magnetic field around it, but in the magnetic field, if a charge is placed, it will not be deflected, it will not experience any magnetic force. Now what will happen? If the charge, suppose it is kept moving with the velocity v when the current I in the conductor started, then you will observe there will be the deflection in the motion of charge. This interaction, that moving charge and current carrying conductors, or in between two current carrying conductors, or between two charges which are in motion, they are moving with the velocity certain and they are charges q, then there will be the deflection because they are in the magnetic field of each other. Magnetic field is produced by charge in motion, magnetic field is produced by current carrying conductor. So if they come near each other, in the region of each other, then what will happen? There will be the sideways force, magnetic force on each other. This force is due to the magnetic field. Now it proves, Oersted experiment proves that the magnetic field is produced by the moving charges, and charges in motion produce magnetic field in the surrounding space. The magnetic field is represented by B and it is a vector quantity. Now, two scientists, French scientists were Biot and Savart. They performed series of experiments to formulate how the magnetic field is calculated at a point, and the famous law given by them is Biot-Savart's law. This law is only for the little element of the any arbitrary wire carrying current. Suppose this is the wire carrying current I, and you want to magnetic field to be determined at point P. Here this is the point P. So if you take a small length dl and current is flowing through it, then this I into dl, it becomes vector quantity. Dl is the length, small length of the conductor, and this current element is a vector. So this law gives the expression to determine the magnetic field at point P only due to small portion IDL, and how you will get the magnetic field due to this small portion at the point P. You join the P with dl. Suppose this length is displacement vector r, and this length makes angle theta with the current element. IDL is called current element. Then the law formulated by Biot and Savart is dB. What is dB? The small current element, the small amount of magnetic field produced. B is the symbol of magnetic field. It has been observed that this dB is directly proportional to a cross product of vector, that is IDL cross R upon R cube. You know A cross B is AB sin theta into unit vector. Here this is IDL cross R, and if you remove the proportionality constant, what will you get here? This is mu naught upon 4 pi this IDL cross R upon R cube. This is the vector form of Biot-Savart law, and it is asked in the examination also, that write the vector form of Biot-Savart's law. How will you write the magnitude of dB? So this is dB equal to small magnetic field, this mu naught upon 4 pi. IDL cross R is IDL R sin theta upon R square. We are talking about magnitude, so this R cube will make R square because R is in the numerator also. What constant? This mu naught upon 4 pi. This value is 10 to the power minus 7 units. This is the constant mu naught called permeability of free space. How will you define this permeability of free space? That is the degree of magnetization that a material obtains in response to an applied magnetic field. You can also write its value 10 to the power minus 7 and this IDL sine theta upon r square. So this is the magnitude of the magnetic field at point P due to the small current element. How to find the magnetic field due to whole current carrying conductor or current carrying wire? By integrating this dB. So Biot-Savart law is to obtain the magnetic field due to a small current element. Now the unit of B and unit of mu naught upon 4 pi, how will you find? So first I tell the unit of B is magnetic field is Tesla. One more unit is Weber per meter square. So Weber is denoted by WB upon meter square. How this unit has been written? In the electrical case, you know phi electric flux you have read is E dot A, dot product of two vectors. This is electric flux. So in case of magnetic field or magnetic case, this magnetic flux can be written as, instead of E you will write magnetic field, this area A. So this flux unit, magnetic flux unit is Weber and area meter square. So another unit is Weber per meter square. One more unit is Newton upon ampere meter. So if these are the units of magnetic field and CGS unit, how they are related? CGS unit is Gauss and 10 to the power 4 Gauss equal to 1 Tesla. Earth has on an average the magnetic field 0.5 Gauss. In the laboratory, around 1 Tesla magnetic field is produced by electromagnets, and very strong field, magnetic field is told by the scientists is found in the neutron stars. Some special devices also produce magnetic field around 200 Tesla to 400 Tesla, but for very small interval of time, around 1 microseconds. So B magnetic field is a vector quantity. How will you define Tesla? Suppose I tell that what will be Tesla. So what will you do here? That you have dB equal to 10 to the power minus 7 IDL sine theta upon r square. So if dB is 10 to the power minus 7 dl Tesla, this magnetic field will be produced around a dl length of current carrying conductor at the distance of 1 meter and perpendicular to the plane containing dl and r. Now since magnetic field is a vector quantity, then how will you find the direction of magnetic field at this point P? There are rules to determine the direction of magnetic field. First rule is screw rule. If you hold the screw with your right hand and you rotate from dl towards r, because magnetic field is IDL cross r. So from which vector to which vector? From dl to r. Look in the figure, in what direction you are going to rotate, that is clockwise. So if the screw is rotated clockwise, then look the motion, imagine the motion of the tip of the screwdriver, that it will move inward. Think that you are rotating the screw clockwise direction from dl towards r, then the tip of the screw moves in the inward direction, that is perpendicular to the plane inward, and this is represented by a cross here. So at point P, magnetic field is directed perpendicular to the plane containing dl vector and r, and inward. At some other point, suppose at this point, suppose this is the P dash, suppose you join here, this is the point P dash, then you will rotate in this direction your screw, that is, the screw will be rotated from DL to this vector R. Now in which direction? This will be anti-clockwise, and you think that you are opening any screw, then a screw comes out. So what will be the direction of magnetic field? The tip of the screw will move forward, that is perpendicular to the plane of paper, upwards. This is perpendicular to the plane of paper, downwards. Another way to determine the direction of magnetic field is thumb rule. Again, the right hand thumb rule. If the thumb tells the direction of magnetic electric current in a conductor, and the fingers curl around the thumb, then here, suppose at point P, this is the direction of current, it has been shown here. So upward in the direction of thumb, and the curling of the finger is downward here at the point P, so this is downward, and here thumb is to be kept in the upward direction, so you will keep your hand like this, and for the point P dash where the fingers are upward to the plane, so perpendicular to the plane, upward this is. There are so many rules, but they are for the right hand. Right hand is to be used to determine the magnetic field. One more rule is the right hand palm rule. So various rules are written in the books, but you have to consider one and exact one. Whatever maybe number of rules are so many, but you have to consider that you are able to apply it accurately. This is, I am telling the third one, this is the right hand palm rule. Again, make your all the fingers straight and perpendicular to the thumb of your right hand. Don't forget. Now, what will happen if the current is again, the direction of thumb is in the direction of current, and the palm is here like this, and the fingers are pointing towards that point at which you have to find the magnetic field. Then the normal drawn on the finger gives the direction of magnetic field. Look, if I keep here, the fingers are pointing towards the point P. What is the normal, outward normal drawn at the palm? So outward normal drawn at the palm will be this. So this is the direction of magnetic field. Look at this point P dash. Here outward normal will be like this. So here it is perpendicular outward. So now in this way, the magnetic field, its direction and its magnitude can be determined using Biot-Savart's law. What about this permeability to free space? This is mu naught upon 4 pi. Its value is 10 to the power minus 7. How will you find the unit of mu naught? You can find by putting these values. dB, what is the unit of B? Tesla. Look here, this Tesla into meter square, I am writing here, this mu naught upon 4 pi can be written as this mu naught upon 4 pi is total constant, or you can write only 10 to the power minus 7. So this can be written as dB r square upon I dl. So what is this unit? Write the unit, Tesla meter square upon ampere meter, dl is meter. So this is, so what is the unit of permeability of free space? That is mu naught. It is Tesla ampere inverse meter. Sometimes it is asked that write the unit of mu naught. Now, how will you relate this mu naught with the constant used in the electric field? You know, in the electric field, what was the unit and what was the formula? Electric field was written that 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. Look that there is a, suppose this is the charge q, or you can have a charge distribution that at particular point, suppose the charge dq, the total charge is q, but dq is a small element of charge, and at the distance r, here it's the point P, then you find that P is in the direction of electric field is in the direction of R, that is in the line towards the line joining the point P and dq. What about the magnetic field? If we compare that, here in the Biot-Savart law we got mu naught upon 4 pi ideal sin theta upon r square. Here the magnetic field is in the plane perpendicular to the dl and r. Electric field in the same plane in the direction of positive charge. Positive charge is, suppose dq is positive, then in the direction of r, and magnetic field is in the perpendicular plane. So how can you compare this Biot-Savart's law with the Coulomb's law, or the electric field can be compared with the magnetic field? So if electric field is to be produced, then the source of electric field production is q, which is a scalar. What is the source here? This IDL. This IDL is what? A vector. If you write in vector form, then you can write this IDL cross R. So the second difference between Biot-Savart's law and Coulomb's law, suppose we are writing about dB, then you are writing magnetic field, and here we have taken electric field, and you know in the Coulomb's law the same formula can be written as by the two charges, suppose q1, q2, and between them distance is r square, then this is the constant, and this force vector, this magnetic field is also vector. Now in this way both are inverse square of distance dependent, dB 1 upon r square, here electric field or force is 1 upon r square. How the magnitude? The magnitude of electric force depends only on the product of charges and square of the inversely to the square of distance between the charges. Here the magnitude of magnetic field doesn't depend on only on the square of distance, ideal cross r, but also depends on the angle between the ideal current element and the displacement vector r. So the magnitude of magnetic field depends on the distance as well as angle. Magnitude of electric field depends only on the distance. Direction, in the direction of r, perpendicular to the plane. Source of generation of magnetic field, this vector, here this scalar. I hope this comparison of Coulomb's law or the electric field with Biot-Savart law you must have understood. Now I will give further information regarding how the charges produce magnetic field or what is electromagnetism in the next video. Thank you.